Hi, welcome to my crazy life. I'm Lori, and I will be your hostess today with a weird sweater. Oh, that's my printer in the background. Today I would like to talk about trip planning. As I've probably mentioned 5,000 times because I'm super excited, I have a trip to Scotland planned with my niece, and we're going to be leaving in 2 months. So it's really time to start seriously thinking about preparations. What do I need? Do I need to purchase anything? Do I have the things I need? What do we want to do when we're there? I mean, we've been talking about stuff for a year since we planned the trip, but now it's time to kind of iron things out a little bit. So I thought this would be a good series to talk about, oh, my crazy hair, travel and how I prep for travel. I will fully admit I'm a freak, and I am like uber prepared. Call me a Girl Scout, call me crazy, but I need to be prepared mentally. So, first things first, you decide where you want to go. Where do we want to go? So we already planned that. We're going to Scotland. I have a travel agent. That was my college degree, so I'm qualified to do it myself. But for international travel, and I have a good travel agent, I just let her do it. So we sent her an email last year. We told her where we wanted to go, around when we wanted to go, and she came back with options for us. And knowing us, she came up with options that she thought we would enjoy in the price range that I wanted to pay. And then we kind of went back and forth until we settled on Scotland in June and the hotel that we're staying at, which do not ask me how to pronounce it because I have no idea. But it's centrally located. We can walk. My niece's friend happens to be going to school at the university, which is really close to there, so we can see her. And I have a friend there as well, so it'll be fun. So then, now we know where we're going. We know how much it's going to cost, and then we start planning how we're going to pay for it. For me, it was just budgeting per month, how much of my disposable income I was going to put towards it. I also work a part-time job, and that part-time job basically amounts to, because it's not, I mean, it's very part-time, but it amounts to I will make in a year what my trip is going to cost. So that's kind of how I paid for it. So we got it all planned and paid for. We have our passports, but that's definitely something you need to look at because that can take 6 weeks to get if you don't already have one, or do you need to renew it? This year was my year to renew my passport. I had gone on a cruise, so I had already done it, or last year, I'm sorry, in 2017 was my year that I needed to renew my passport, and Sarah as well, which I need to make sure she's renewed her passport. Okay. Anywho, side tangent there. See, that's where my brain goes. I'm like, okay, let me write this down. Ask Sarah about her passport, because I can't remember when hers expires. So we've done that. So this was planned like I said, last year. And around Christmas is the perfect opportunity. Sarah wanted luggage for our trip, so I bought her a suitcase for Christmas. Perfect. She needed a suitcase. We had a holiday. I wanted a travel guide. I do enjoy having a book to, flip through. I'll write in it. I've been reading it. Now, granted, it's not as up-to-date as the internet. However, it's Scotland, and these castles aren't going anywhere. Things that are going to change from a book, it's not destinations and locations and basic travel information. What's going to change is the cost to get in, or, the hours of operation. So you always just want to keep in mind that those things may not be as up-to-date in your travel book, but you certainly, Edinburgh Castle's not moving, I hope. And here comes Alex, because I'm talking. Come on, buddy. Come on, let's get you down. Yeah, I know. Okay, go that way then. Well, do something. Buddy, nobody wants you in the middle of the screen. Oh, your fat belly. So, back to my book. So I got the book. I just read a little bit, what's interesting. And I really like Rick Stevens. He travels on a budget. He's very budget conscious like I am. Or I guess I am like he is, because he's the expert. But I enjoy these books. So for Christmas, I got this book from Sarah's mom, which was awesome because that's what I wanted. So I got my book, and I have a notebook. Always have a notebook for a trip. Now, if you see here, this was my cruise, but I had well over half a notebook left. So instead of wasting it, I just added Scotland to it. But I do set it up like a bullet journal, so I'll have an index. I'll have my daily log. What do we plan on doing? See, we don't have much in here right now other than I have a travel day, and we know for sure that we're doing an overnight trip here. So we're leaving in the morning here and coming back in the evening here. And that, you know, we decided on a Monday. Hopefully everything will be open that we want to do. I mean, I'm assuming it will. It's a guided tour. But so those are the only 2 guarantees that we know for right this second. And then any notes over here, as soon as our flights are guaranteed, I shouldn't say that, our flights are guaranteed, we bought a package through Delta, that Dream Vacation, so it's air and hotel. So as soon as I get my itinerary finalized, you know, the final one a couple weeks before we leave, I'll write all of our flight information on this piece of paper. Yes, I handwrite things, but I just want everything in one place to reach. On this side, I'll put our hotel information. You know, what if we get lost, or, and this happened in London, we couldn't find the hotel. So it was easy, just whip out my notebook, jump in a cab, and say, take me to this address, instead of rifling through all of our travel docs. We have been researching some tours. So one of them we definitely want to do is the Edinburgh Book Lovers Tour. So exciting. So I just wrote down in here, it goes Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 1:30. Where does it leave from? It's 90 minutes. How much is it? No booking required. So at some point, and this is going to be weather dependent, obviously, because it's a walking tour, we will show up at this address at this time, and we will do a 2 or an hour and a half walking tour of Edinburgh and learn about literature and history. I also have our tour that I booked for us already. Now, I will print those documents and put them in here, but this is a hard copy for me. And then, you know, I'll start making shopping lists, packing lists, different things in here, and then I'll add to my index. And this way, if Sarah's like, hey, let me see, what are we doing, blah, blah, she can just flip through it and know exactly what we're doing. Now, it might be a little OCD because that's how I roll, but I even color code. I don't know. That's what I do. It makes me feel better being organized, and it makes Sarah feel better that I'm organized. She has a little bit of travel anxiety, and so honestly for her, we talk about it, we have a plan, and that helps with her anxiety, and it helps with my anxiety. And that's how we can travel the world. So, now we know when and where. The next step is I've been checking weather. And obviously, it's 2 months out. I'm not going to know the exact weather on Wednesday, June 6th, whatever day that is. But there's an idea. You know, weather has patterns and trends. I went out on AccuWeather, and they're telling me right now that they're anticipating highs in the low 70s during the day, lows in the high 40s during the night. Spring-like weather in Ohio, which is perfect because I live in Ohio and it's spring. You know, so as I'm getting dressed in the morning, I'm looking, what do I have? What do I want to bring? I'm a big fan of the Capsule Wardrobe, where everything is interchangeable as far as travel goes. So I already know I bought a pair of shoes. I'm waiting for them to come in, and then I'll do a opening on those shoes. And I got gray, so I'll do a lot of navy blues, khakis, maybe some pastels, lightweight shirts like this, and then a cardigan. And I'll probably bring this one, this gray cardigan, which will match everything, and a rain jacket, and one extra pair of shoes. But that, I mean, I don't have a huge suitcase, but I would like, my goal whenever I travel, oh, and I bring a couple sundresses that I can wear a cardigan over and leggings. And this worked perfect in France, where it was very chilly when we were there. But I had on an Old Navy dress, I had a denim jacket on, and I had leggings. And if I got warm, I could have taken my leggings off. Did not need to take my leggings off. But it worked perfectly, and they all interchange. So any day I can get up, and what's the weather going to be? These are the layers I'm going to put on to be comfortable, because we'll just leave the hotel and be gone all day, come back in the evening, and hopefully change and, you know, go out for dinner or whatever our evening plans are. You know, but I don't need to bring 10 suitcases. Hopefully 3 pair of pants, 2 sundresses, some leggings, and interchangeable shirts and a cardigan will get me through an 8-day trip. Not a problem. Just as long as everything is interchangeable. And quite frankly, it's not that important. I just don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. So I try to make everything business casual is kind of what I shoot for. You know, like I went to Old Navy today and I got a couple pair of chinos, which are perfect. Don't need to be pressed, but whatever. They're a cotton chino, so they could be dressed up with some jewelry, or during the day just to walk around the city. So right now, it's March. We're leaving at the beginning of June, but this is where spring clothes in Ohio are going on sale, and I need to start picking up a few pieces. I've got plenty of clothing, but I needed a couple pieces, a new pair of pants for work anyway, so I was like, But anyway, so that, you know, just start thinking about things. Do you know where your passport is? You got it, but where is it? Get that out. I know that she and I need to purchase money. The days are past where you can walk into a bank and have them exchange American dollars for foreign currency. You could totally do it at the airport. You can really do it when you get there. I prefer to do it before I leave. At the airport, you're going to pay a higher exchange rate too, I think, and when you get there. So here's our plan. I happen to work at a bank, but I emailed a friend of mine that's a bank manager, and I asked him what the steps were with my bank. And he told me, you know, you got to go in, you bring your cash, you tell them what you want, they order it. It takes a couple of days to come in. You pay a courier fee for them because they will courier it from the main vault downtown. So Sarah and I will each get out however much we're taking, you know, how much cash do we think we're going to need? And then we're going to convert it before we go, probably a couple weeks before we go. And then that's just done. That's checked off my list. Done. Cash. There's nothing more frightening than to land in a foreign country after flying all night, so you're flipping exhausted, and try to figure out how to exchange money. Bad plan. Bad plan. We were lucky when we went to London that it wasn't as hard as we thought it was going to be, you know, because that wasn't something I thought about beforehand, but I thought about it this time. So we'll do that. We will figure out our transportation because, again, we're going to be exhausted. We are leaving Ohio at noon, 10:30 in the morning. We go to New York, and we sit there for several hours. We don't get on the plane in New York until like 6:30 at night, and we literally fly all night long. We will get in the next day at 9:30 in the morning, but we won't be able to get into our hotel until 2 or 3 most likely. But we can go to the hotel. We'll just go to the hotel. We'll find it. We'll drop our luggage off, and then we'll probably go hook up with her friend or get coffee and walk around and do some sightseeing, maybe hit the grocery store. The hotel that we're staying at actually is an apart hotel, they call it. So in America, it would be like an extended stay where it has a kitchenette and a sleeping area and free Wi-Fi. And the whole city of Edinburgh has free Wi-Fi. That's the other thing you have to think about, your phone. Yes, I could get an international calling plan, but I don't need an international calling plan. With our carrier, if it's an emergency, I can turn my phone on. But what I will do is as soon as I leave the United States, it goes on airplane mode, and it stays on airplane mode until I come home. I can use the internet, I can use the camera, because quite frankly, this camera on this phone is better, this is the Galaxy 8, is better than any camera I own at this juncture, besides my big DSLR, which I am not dragging that across the world. So I will take pictures on my phone. I can get online, I can load them, I can email them to myself, I can send them to Snapfish and have them printed. And when I get home, I can plug my phone into my computer and transfer the file over, which works out great. and I need my internet. And there's maps on here. And in Edinburgh, the city there's free Wi-Fi throughout the whole city. I did find that out. So just, it's probably going to be slow, but my hotel has internet. Electronic-wise, I bring my camera, phone, and I bring my iPad. And I bring international chargers, which I'll go over all that on the next part of the series, which is what do you need to go international? Where this one is just mainly, the prep work I've done up until now. I've been out of the country, numerous times. So this is, to me, it's stuff I take for granted, but I shouldn't. And it's sharing my knowledge makes me feel good too. So anyways, I have my phone. I have my list. I will start my shopping list. Now, before I do a shopping list, I do a packing list. Or I guess it's not even a packing list. It's what are the things that I'm going to need? I'm going to need a power converter. Because in the UK, you can't plug your phone in. You can't plug your iPad in. You have to bring a converter. And now the other cat's coming to visit. I believe the UK takes a G, is what I purchased. I'm not really sure. I went on the internet. I figured out what I needed. I ordered a 3-pack for like $12. And it comes with 3 individual converters. I will say, and I'll say it every time, if you're taking electronics, bring the charging block for that device. So for my iPad, I will bring the original big charging block that came with my iPad. For my phone, I will bring the charger and the plug that goes to my phone. But A, it's going to charge them faster, and B, they're going to protect your device from any type of power surge, or I don't even know if it's a power surge, but it's going to protect your device because that's what they were designed to do, these blocks. I also have a power brick that I bought because when I was in London 4 or 5 years ago, I used my iPad a lot for reading. I had all my books on there, and it literally took 24 hours to charge my iPad, which was crazy. But it's just a different power conversion, and I did not bring my block. So I'm kind of hoping that will help, because I had a power converter that was USB. So I just brought that, plugged everything in. Yeah, that was a bad plan. Again, but you don't know until you know. So I'm telling you what my bad plan was. So this time we're bringing our blocks, our charging blocks. We're bringing our power cords that go to specific devices. And I will keep, if it's slow to charge my iPad, then I will charge it off of the charging block and then just keep that thing plugged in and get that charged up. Also, I don't want to ever run out of power while I'm out taking pictures. Although this phone does take a really good picture, and the battery is pretty decent. I do not want to be someplace and not have the ability to take pictures. Of course, Sarah will have her phone as well, which she's going to use for her camera, so that's fine. So you go through, like what I do to make my list is I go through my day. What am I going to need? I get up, I take a shower, so I need all my shower stuff. Put on my makeup, and it will be very basic makeup. I'm not bringing my whole closet of makeup, just the basics. I do my hair. Well, clearly my hair is short, but I'm going to get it cut right before I leave, like a week before I leave, because then I don't need curling irons and flat irons, because I'm not sure if you can plug those in there. I've heard you can, I've heard you can't. So I'm going to go with you can't. My hair is short enough. I don't need to worry about flat irons and curling irons. Literally, I will dry it in the hotel, and I believe the bed and breakfast that we're staying at, because during our overnight trip, we'll stay one night at a bed and breakfast. I believe they both have hair dryers. I can dry it, zhuzh it up with some hair glue and hairspray. Hair is done. Think about clothes, shoes, socks. I mean, they're just the basic. I just go through my day in my head. I wake up, we're going to go to lunch. Our plan is to eat breakfast in the room and then pack lunches, because from what I'm reading, Edinburgh is a very outdoorsy kind of city where you're just walking everywhere, and yeah, we can jump into a pub, but why not just pack, we'll pack snacks, pack a lunch. So I got little dollar store lunch bags that I can totally throw away before we come home. Just to throw our lunches in. I'll throw some zip top baggies, and we'll be at the grocery store anyway. Another thing for me is my sweetener. So when I was in London, now this was 4 or 5 years ago, it was hit or miss to find sugars at coffee places that do not affect my blood sugar. Now, clearly, I love my coffee and tea. It's a coffee night. And this is my preferred sweetener because this is all natural. It's non-GMO, no artificial ingredients, no added flavors or colors, no bitter aftertaste. And this is a erythritol stevia blend. Now, there's Aldi has a brand too, which I'll buy because I'm out. This is the end of this box. However, what I will do is buy a whole box. They come with 40 packets. That'll be enough for a week. Plus, but that'll be plenty for the week for any sweeteners that I might need. And I will throw them in a zip bag and put them in my backpack. Like, this is not negotiable for me. So how do I guarantee my comfort and that I can have my coffee the way I need it? I just pack it. It takes zero room. You know, it's a box of 40 packets. It goes into a zip top bag and it'll go in my backpack. And I carried it with me all through London. And in some places I was able to find some Splenda, and some places I wasn't. So it was just best that I had my own with me. You know, the places I could find it, I grabbed a couple extra to put in my bag because I wasn't anticipating having to use all of my own sweetener. And it worked out fine. But now I know. So, you know, those are things, medications. You don't pack just 8 days worth. You bring 2 weeks worth. You know, I have a pill holder that's travel size, and then I have some small jewelry little zip bags, like the little tiny ones, that I'll put 3 or 4 or 5 days worth of meds in each one. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get delayed. You just don't know. And being in a foreign country without much needed medication is not okay. And so I would never risk that. And I don't check my medication. It goes in my carry-on and it stays with me at all times. So those little things. But so you go through, you make your list, and then from that list, what do you already have? Go through and check that off. And what's left really becomes your shopping list. And if you start ahead of time, you can catch end of season sales, beginning of season sales. I mean, you name it, you can find it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I know I need some new clothes. I needed some new spring clothes anyway, so it's just perfect to buy them now. And why not buy some that'll go on vacation with me, and then when I get back, they just go into my work pile. I think we're going to wrap it up here for this initial preparation. I definitely will be back. I have a lot to go over. I have some hauls that I've been purchasing for travel. I have some items to show you. I will show you what I take in my carry-on. I will show you what I pack in my luggage. And then once we get some more of our tour stuff ironed out, I'll go over that as well. So I hope you enjoy this. How crazy girl Lori preps for vacation. For now, happy traveling. Bye.